to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start out with visitors, okay? Is that all right with everybody? Carl, you're a visitor. And Tim needs to know do you know the two people that are visitors sitting right now?
I know Carl, I don't know the other
Could you
gentleman.
identify yourself?
Jordan
Bryce.
Okay.
Hi, and Michael Olio is here, have some
Yep.
pizza here. Okay, Carl?
Okay. I'm here because of the letter that we received on our garbage bills about the proposed town charter. So I did some looking today online, and I believe that there's got to be a warning before the meetings. And I believe it's a 30-day warning. I tried calling the Secretary of State's office today, but they're gonna call back because they're all
Okay.
working from at home and stuff, but I haven't received it yet.
Okay.
So I went through the state statute that says the procedure that's got to be followed for changing a town charter. And it's kind of nothing like the letter that you send us in our trash cans.
But that's not the warning, Carl, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Let Carl finish.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So if you look at the procedure on the state statutes, it says that,
Yeah, I'm just reading it.
it's 30 days. If you look at section 6A, it says notice of public hearing and annual special meeting shall be given in accordance with 2641 of this chapter. And I did have that.
I got it right here.
Okay,
Warning must be posted in at least 2 public places in the municipality and in or near the town clerk's office and on the town's website, not less than 30, nor more than 40 days prior to the hearing or meeting.
it says, where do you get hearing in the office?
The
30
first,
days
It's
for the meeting.
17 VSA 2641.
and it says before the meeting, yeah.
Right, so,
And I took that, and this is the information from the attorneys.
Right, right.
That it's
It's also from
30,
the state.
30 days before the meeting to vote on the
doesn't
charter
say that.
change. Well, it says
it
hearing
says
or
before
meeting.
the meeting.
Yeah,
The
so,
meeting's gotta be warned. So you need to warn it for 30 days.
and what are we warning?
A town charter change is pretty serious.
I understand that.
So you need, apparently, the way you guys want to do it, you want the whole town to vote on this.
Well, it
Well,
has to
that's what
be.
they have to, because it's a
Right.
charter change.
But how can you do that? Because there was a vote by the special service district to have the garbage. So now you're gonna have the whole town take that option away from us? When
It's
they
be-
don't pay for this option?
That's correct, because when it became part of the town charter,
Right?
everybody votes on it. The special district,
No, the special service.
no, the
It says right
entire,
in our town charter, right here.
I got the charter here too.
Let's not
And
be
it says-
contentious about it. Carl's bringing up a point, let's just listen to
And
what
I'm
he
trying
has
to
say.
explain it, okay?
Well,
It's 30 days,
Where does it say that? It says 30 days for the meeting.
Underline it.
I'm following what the state statute
and
says.
I take the meeting to be the vote.
Well, the
No,
town,
You gotta
because
warn the meeting. so
our meeting
everybody
is gonna
knows.
have to be before unfortunately, this
hearings.
year, we're having town meeting in February, because it, hello?
Excuse us, you're gonna need a straw?
What's that?
You're gonna need a straw?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, just have a seat.
you can sit down and wait here, you can wait out in the hallway.
So-
We're gonna be a couple minutes.
You know who that is?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's here for an interview.
Oh, yes, okay.
Now?
Well, sometime tonight. Yeah, we're gonna.
Nobody's said anything, I
So
put it
if
on
I
the
read
warning.
this
Let's
Thing from the
listen.
state statute.
Yeah.
2641, warning public notice required for public warnings. So
Well-
I don't see
Warning is not a
before the
vote.
vote. It says
Okay.
Before the meeting. It
Then-
says before the meeting.
Then I guess we'll have a special election. That's all. I mean, we were trying to save the town some money by putting it
No.
in.
Well, it can be in March, can
How's
it?
it gonna save the town money?
No, not the garbage collection, the warning, getting the warning on for the
You're worried
regular
about a
ballot.
little penalty, $5 to post this.
That's,
Why don't you do it right by the law, and then you won't have an issue?
I'm going according to our lawyer's opinion.
Well, the
okay.
state statutes gets thrown in the garbage because your lawyer's opinion?
No, it
That's what
does
you're trying to
not.
tell me.
This is straight from the statutes. Select Board makes the amendment proposal, okay? Or 5% of the municipality can petition for it.
Where are you, Tim?
I'm reading from the lawyer's
Okay,
letter.
Why don't you read
All right,
from the
well-
statute?
Well, because I don't think I have it with me.
Because you don't want to follow.
That's right.
Well, I think we were trying to follow it. We've been
Well-
talking about it long enough, we could've.
I have to apologize, 'cause I've been out for a couple months. I've been in,
Oh, I thought,
Here.
I'm not, I'm just.
I
every time
just don't,
Richford
I'm
does
trying to
something,
understand everybody, that's,
You don't,
Carl, I'm
you
not
want people
trying-
of the town to follow the rules and policies,
Right.
but you don't, the board doesn't follow. So then
Don't say
this
that.
happens.
Well-
I mean, if you're on the board, it seems like you would do your homework and look at the state statutes, look at the policies,
Here,
and say
look.
30 days before the meeting.
I asked my attorney, okay?
Well,
And
don't be
that's,
so lazy and do the research yourself.
Linda, are you suggesting that you guys were gonna
You-
discuss this at town meeting?
Yes.
well, I would think you'd be
No.
voting at
You're
town
gonna be
meeting.
voting the
So that would be, no, but are you suggesting that Tuesday, when we have town meeting, right?
Yeah,
which is
that would be the
28th,
vote.
That would be the conversation and
That was
voting
my
is-
understanding.
It'd be
Is
too
also the,
Well, the night before, Monday night, is the town meeting.
Levi, you need to have 2 meetings. in
You
order
have to warn us,
no, you don't have to have, well, you do.
you have to have an informational meeting for
You-
people.
You have to have the first meeting, which we had tentatively scheduled for January 19th, okay? Or 18th, I'm sorry.
Okay, first, that would be the first meeting on the.
Yes.
That was the first
Discussion.
meeting,
That's what the discussion's about.
and
Okay.
that would be
Oh,
posted.
I see what you don't, you're talking about that meeting, you're not
He's
talking about
talking
the
about-
vote.
First
Yeah.
meeting, you gotta have a meeting to discuss.
Right.
Your town charter.
Yes,
You have
exactly.
to warn the meeting, 30 days, it says
In
here, 30
advance.
days.
Have we warned
So
it?
January is not, so it's not.
Well, we're
Yeah,
not
that's
having
fine.
it January 18th then, are
Exactly,
we?
but your letter says you are.
I haven't paid my bill yet, so I don't have my letter.
Why would you say that?
The
If it
town-
has to be 30 days, and it hasn't been warned, January 18th is only 15 days
Lynn, have
away.
you seen this?
No, but it's before the vote to change the charter.
No. Meeting, okay.
It
So,
says,
if you
hold on,
do it
hold on,
any-
hold on, hold on, let me just read it here. It says the legislative body of a municipality shall
is us.
warn a meeting by posting a warning and notice in at least 2 public places in the municipality and in or near the town clerk's office, not less than 30 nor more than 40 days before the meeting. If a municipality has more than 1 polling place,
We don't.
which we don't worry
Yeah,
about,
we don't
and
worry
the
about
polling places are not in the same building, the warning and the notice shall be posted in at least 2 public places within each voting district and in or near the town clerk's office.
But that last, we can cross out that last
Right, that
paragraph.
doesn't, but the way I'm reading it
Yeah.
here, it's gonna, the meeting itself is gonna be 30 days prior.
Right, right.
To the
I
hearing.
think that's what we're,
So,
Okay, to the hearing or to the vote.
the meeting it says.
meeting, it says meeting on this
Doesn't
paper.
say-
Well,
Hearing.
my opinion from them says notice of the annual or special meeting must be made pursuant, is that 172641?
That meeting doesn't really have to be
Two-
more, because
two-
it's your
yeah,
town
it's
report book. It's
17.
every year.
No.
Chapter 5, subchapter 002, town meetings and local
Okay.
elections.
So it won't be on the ballot in March.
It shouldn't be, because you don't have time.
Well, that's fine.
But you
Thank
can
sir.
fix it, you can do what the town charter says to do if you don't like it. It says if you don't like it, the people of the special service district can vote the service in or out. We already voted it in once.
No,
So I
but-
think you would have to get rid of that before you did
You
it.
do, you have to get rid of the old one. Is something wrong?
Yeah, because you're giving them bad
Oh, I'm
information.
sorry, well, I'll be quiet.
Well,
I've only been doing it
If
for
all this
13 years.
information's on the internet. and-
history doesn't have anything to do with it, Linda, okay? What it is voting on the charter amendment shall be by Australian ballot. The ballot shall show the charter section to be amended with deleted matter struck through and the new matter underlined. An official copy of the charter proposal shall be posted conspicuously in each ballot booth. And
I think,
everybody votes for it because, given this charter provision, if the tax is collecting
He's saying you don't need-
trash collection fees as a tax on the grand list, the view is that the town can collect the fees in the same manner as taxes, including a tax sale on delinquencies, but we don't do it that way, okay?
Right, I understand
Okay. All costs, I know it says that the entire town votes on it because it's a charter. Voting on the charter shall be an Australian ballot.
so we come to the conclusion that we can't have the meeting when it was
On January
stated,
18th.
so.
That's fine, it won't get on the ballot for March, that's all, we'll have to have a
If you
special
would've kept your
election.
regular schedule and you had your meeting on the 18th of January,
Yeah.
then you had your second meeting on February 15th. Your ballots are already made, your people are already voting before
Carl,
you
I'm
even
agreeing
have
with
the
you.
second meeting.
I'm agreeing with you.
So let's
It
just
just-
put it in the minutes when, if this is gonna be and what's happening,
Well,
so that it's in the minutes.
I understand.
So what are we gonna do?
Oh, we don't, I can't tell you right now without a calendar in front of me. And
don't
whether,
have- we don't have-
well,
30
no,
days.
because we
How
have
much
to,
happened?
we have to know whether it's too late for town meeting.
We just have to have a special meeting later.
We'll just have to have a special election.
Why
That's all.
don't you just do it the normal way and the correct way, and let the voters in the special service district do it like the town charter says we can do? Then if they get rid of it, then you can have the town, all the town people vote for it.
And it says right here, the charter provision leaves the decision as to whether or not trash collection services will be provided in the former village area to the voters residing in the special services district.
Which is not the town, right?
The voters within the former village area special district have the ability to vote to begin or end trash collection as long as the provision remains in place. There is no provision for a vote that would include voters outside of the former village limits. Unfortunately, this is how the charter is drafted and may have to result in a negotiation when the village merged with the town. And then they go on further to say, well, it's gonna be too late anyway for the town meeting, so,
You wanna get a copy of that for Carl or what?
Can we all
I
have
know-
it? I'd like a
Here,
copy
I know
too.
what the state statute is.
What's
I have
that?
a copy.
I'd like a copy.
If
too.
you were to warn it tomorrow, you could do your first meeting on the 2nd. Does the next one have to be 30 days between
Yeah.
those two? Because then,
yeah, it has to be,
And this
10
year,
days
town
later.
meeting is on Monday, I think it's on the 1st.
The first-
no, sorry, if you were to warn tomorrow, the first meeting,
Yeah.
then you could have the first meeting on the 2nd of February.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gives you a little under a month. Do the two meetings have to be 30 days
think
apart? Or
so.
could
Well,
you have one and then warn a
you
second
can't-
one?
you
We
can't-
only have 50 days before voting.
you can't post a warning
The vote is the
with
1st of
less,
March.
less than a 5-day notice.
Oh, so
okay.
you can't post it tomorrow anyway.
And it has to go in the newspaper, and it has to go in
The
two
legal, the
places.
second vote would be when?
So if you were to be able to go, just a minute, so you'd have to go with the 7th for the first vote, and then you could go,
You mean first meeting?
yeah, sorry, what do you
I'm
want?
sorry.
While the charter amendment process is more cumbersome than a vote of the residents of the former village area, we understand in this situation, it may also be more achievable because it would include the voters from outside the village limits.
And then you would,
So that's the entire town, okay?
It has to be 30 days apart.
But,
I'm not sure on the second
Warrant.
one.
but it just,
I
if-
never could understand why the whole town is voting on something that only the village uses. That's
Well,
what
because it
It's
said-
like the water, I don't understand
For
why the
one
whole
thing,
town.
if the bills aren't paid, then it becomes the people on
burden
the
on the-
outside of the.
yeah, it does.
That's
burden on
correct.
People on the
it's
outside.
impacting the,
That's
I'm
why.
paying for people's garbage
But-
pickup and I live in the
Right.
town outside of the
But let me
special.
say this.
That's
if
why it
the
should be
pro-
on the taxes.
The garbage system's the way it is because of neglect from the select board. If you have people coming in buying stickers because they don't want to pay their bills, so they'll buy stickers, they get their stickers, but that don't come off their bill. But you're still making money because they're paying the
Right.
stickers.
You're right.
You have people in town that are single people or a couple that only has one garbage bag a week, so they don't pay their bill. instead of getting 26 stickers, they'll come in and get 13 stickers, half the money.
And buy 'em.
And it still.
But they
doesn't
still
go
have a
against
lien on their
bill.
property, though.
And you have a lien on.
Yeah, you still
Well,
have.
you can't have a lien on their property for garbage.
Well, we have, when they sell that property, which they
Well,
may
right.
never do.
Right.
Yeah.
We
which
had
they-
one guy in town 2 years ago that paid a $3,500 bill, they got a big box of stickers.
He gets the stickers and he's leaving
He
town.
used to come and pay his garbage by 1 sticker per week instead of paying his bill and getting 2. So that's neglect on the select board by not fixing the system for a 2 price tier, maybe for by family sizers, which would make a lot more sense.
Well, I think that the stickers should come from the garbage collector anyway. That's always been my thought, because I
I think
know.
that's what we've been, that's the whole
Because I know
goal
the
is to get
town
it out
cannot
of our
handle,
hands.
because we don't go on the garbage route. I
The
mean,
town wants to be out of the garbage.
And we want to be out of the garbage business, but
So,
It's in your town charter, you,
we can't,
We can
exactly.
supply a
What?
service, but we don't have to be in the garbage business, basically what
No,
we
we
are
can
now.
provide it.
We can provide the service.
Take what we're doing now and tell John Weatherby he has to take over doing the billing. and-
Pretty much.
That's
Right,
what we
right.
want
Tim,
to
hasn't he
do.
told you he wanted to do that?
Yeah,
I told him he wanted to do that, and we had those discussions all along. Right now, to be perfectly honest with you, because of the lack of people abiding by the system, okay?
Because it's neglected.
Okay, fine, we ignore it, we don't care about it, okay?
We don't have any teeth in it. You
No,
can't do it.
that's the point.
Because you took. you
Moving
moved it.
forward, all it says is we have to provide trash service to the special district, okay? And it also says it needs to cover all of the costs for that. And we haven't been billing all of the costs of the system. And now you've just seen a $4 increase per quarter that came with this quarter. And if the charter is not voted down, then we would convert the system, would put
That's
out.
bull.
Wait,
Why would you want to do a system like you talked about? To
we're
putting it
not
on
gonna
somebody's
do
house?
anything. We're gonna,
On December 15th, on a meeting right on TV, it says you want to attach it to their house, so you could sell somebody's house in a few years for not paying their garbage bill.
no, what we can do.
That's what you
you
said.
can collect it,
No,
though,
we can
when they
collect
sell the
it.
house, you can collect it
No, that's
now.
not
You
right.
said
Well, I
on the
wasn't
15th.
here.
What
Let me
we're
bring it
going
up
to
and we can
do-
discuss it.
No,
You
I
said you would
know.
take people's houses. Would you like your houses to?
No, I said
Look, but
we
you didn't
would
pay your
collect,
taxes.
that we would collect the trash bills. And why we would collect them is because there's no provisions in the charter as to how we bill for that service. Doesn't say anything, it just goes to the special district and we have to provide it. So what we would do is we would create a separate trash category on the water and sewer bill, because that's also within the special district.
So Tim,
We'd put
before
it,
you go
wait, let me finish this time, okay? So before we're currently on a contract extension with John, okay? And we have in the future, what would happen is on your trash bill, there'd be 2 quarters worth of expenses, okay? 6 months, just like your water and sewer bill, okay? And what would happen is, it would then be treated just like an unpaid bill. And if you didn't pay your
So you
bill,
would attach it to the grand list.
no, it's not gonna be done based on the grant list, water and sewer
So you
isn't.
wouldn't be able to take somebody's house and sell it?
No.
Like you stated in the November
Right.
15th meeting?
Right now, we can take people to tax sale for unpaid water bills.
Exactly.
And we can take people to tax sale if they have significant unpaid trash bills.
We can.
You can?
We
never-
would under the new system.
Oh, the new
That's
system.
the
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about either.
Yeah,
He
so
wants to
I got a
change-
I brought it
question
up in
about
a
your new
few
system.
meetings.
So then, you're gonna take a water and sewer bill that's billed every 6 months, people have
Yeah.
$400, $500, $600 bills.
Sure.
Then you're gonna throw another couple $100 onto that.
Yep.
People in
Well,
this town, including yourself, have a hard
Well,
time paying taxes.
it doesn't-
So how would you like that?
Well, it doesn't say
It'd
how
be
we
the
have to
same as what
bill.
it is now. People have to pay the
What-
garbage bill
what-
now, whether
Right.
it's tied to the water or
Some
not.
old lady-
Myself, I'm a
It's the
single
same
man that
thing.
lives on my own,
Yeah,
on my own house.
Sure,
And right now, I'm paying $88 a quarter
Yeah.
for my trash.
yeah.
I might put a bag out this week, maybe I won't. So if I figure that out, I'm paying $7.33 a bag to put my
Okay,
trash out, where yourself, if you put 2 bags out, you're $3.66 a bag.
and I'm sorry
And
about
then you're
that.
gonna add.
Well, you have leftover stickers, but you can use them again
Correct.
next year.
But
I mean, it's not like they're
The point
gone
is-
when they're
is that
gone.
How much
if I
would
get
that-
that water and sewer bill in December, you're gonna add another $160 onto.
Not
I mean, that's
necessarily.
hard enough being
Not
a single income.
necessarily.
I don't get where you're getting your math from.
Maybe we go back to billing quarterly for water and sewer. That was the
I
intent
really wish they would
originally.
do
I've been
that.
trying to
Yeah,
get
me
them to do
too.
that when
Me
I was
too.
here.
Since
See,
I've been on,
that's,
same
that's
thing.
how we're not paying attention to this.
But
That
this
we
isn't
were
this
talking-
garbage discussion.
Well, no, it ties out to water and sewer. It ties out to the special district. Okay?
Special service
And the expenses associated with the special district, if the charter is not amended, would become so much for trash, so much for water, so much for sewer. And the intent was to try to lower those water bills because they're oppressive. People can't pay them because they're too much. If you bill it on a quarterly basis,
You can afford it.
then they could afford it better. And you'd get the same quarterly bill for your trash. And if you choose to divvy it up and pay part, not the other, once the trash rolls up to a certain level, you can go to tax sale for it, just like you can for water and sewer.
It wouldn't be one bill or one,
So,
it'd be.
But I don't think we
somebody
have
doesn't
anything
pay
in
their
statute
garbage,
about
why
that.
do you keep picking it up?
That's where
We
the
can't
flaw is.
control
There
it. That's
needs
where
to
the
be
flaw
a
is.
list.
John needs to get a list in his truck. This people didn't pay
Yep,
their
they didn't
garbage.
pay, we're
Leave
not
it there.
taking their garbage, leave it there.
Exactly.
That would be a great
I've
idea.
said that for 10 years, Carl.
Look at the other side of that, I don't,
But Levi,
I just
look
wanna
at-
apologize, the people who we don't want to pick up the trash, I mean, you saw what we did this spring and fall.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
We all raised on the
And-
side,
well,
there's
Exactly.
people
Also
that are
another reason we should
paying.
keep a trash collection like that, so you don't
Exactly.
have trash thrown, you know, in this pull off and over here and
Right.
there.
I do
And
have to
think that's
say
the whole
though,
reason why that started is to.
You don't know the trash that I've
Sitting-
seen on the side of the road.
Oh, I know.
that we-
sitting here though at this table and from the edge, it's beautiful to see that we're all in agreement that this system is broken right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it.
Well, yeah, that's it, right?
That's what
Don't
we're
get rid of
trying,
it.
that's
Love
what
hearing
we're
that there's
trying
that people wanna
to
fix
do.
that.
What's your suggestion on fixing it?
Yeah,
Well, if somebody doesn't pay their garbage,
Don't pick it
don't
up.
pick it up, for number one.
Well, it's pretty hard to figure out who's paying their garbage,
How
who's
hard
not.
is
it? It is- it is a
When
list.
it's two separate people.
What if-
There's
what
not a
if they-
town employee or anything on the garbage.
And
pickup
at what
is the
point
problem.
would you consider them as not paying for their service?
2 quarters.
Okay?
If they didn't pick it up,
I can show you a list that's 4 pages long of people that haven't paid for 2
why are you
quarters.
picking it up?
We're not, but if they have stickers on it,
They have
John's gonna pick them
stickers,
up.
we
Or
don't,
Whoever the
we don't
garbage person is.
Why
differentiate.
don't you throw a different color sticker in there once every few
Well,
months?
we talked about that too. We talked about that
I know,
too.
my blue stickers are from
But-
last year.
Because
But-
if somebody has extra stickers, I've already paid for that sticker. John's got his money for that sticker. I can use that sticker whenever.
The problem is,
Give it to your
the
grandmother.
town hasn't got the money for that sticker.
Well,
So
if
if
They
you want,
did, when they
Yes, if you
originally
got the
sold it, they got their
yeah.
money.
but if you haven't paid for 2 quarters, we
You
haven't
don't
got
get
the
your
money.
stickers.
Well, that's fine, but what I'm saying is, people are just gonna go about like they're doing right now, you said. They're buying stickers on the street, they're saving them for next year, they're doing them whenever, okay?
But
And so
they've
they're
been
not-
paid for.
But
If
they
you've got a
haven't,
sticker, they've been paid for.
Yes, they
Okay.
have been paid.
not if they bought them.
If you have an elderly person, one old lady living by herself.
Yep.
She gets the bill $84. Okay, we'll use Linda.
Yeah, use
Gets
me,
a
I'm an
bill,
old woman.
And she gets 2 stickers per week. More than likely, she's not using them 2 stickers. So she's gonna get a stockpile after a couple
I
of
have a
weeks.
stockpile of
Absolutely.
blue.
So, she's paid for them. If she
Yes,
don't
I
ever
have.
pay her, she's paid for them.
Yes, she
If
has.
she gives them to somebody else, that's fine.
They're still paid for.
Because the town got their money, and John got his money for that sticker. So maybe if you had a deal or a package where
No, let me
Linda
tell you.
didn't pay the full.
Where I only
No.
had to buy half as many.
Well, let me tell you, to make everyone whole, including the people that pay for their stickers, who are paying for the people that aren't paying for their stickers, okay? Because that's the special district, okay? Your rates are gonna go up to about, I'm guessing, $120 a quarter.
Then what's the sense of having the town do it? It's cheaper to go by yourself.
Right.
That's what I think
That's-
ought to be done. I
that's
think
what we
ought to
would
do
like
it just
to
like it's
do.
done in the town.
But we have to change the
I
charge.
pay for
That,
my
Scott.
garbage, you pay for your garbage, you get whoever you want to come pick it up.
That's good, but you guys don't wanna not pick people's garbage up that don't pay because you're worried about what they're gonna do with it. Same thing.
Well,
It's
If
nothing
they
to
don't
do
pay
with the
to
town. If
pick it
you
up,
each
it'll be on
got
the
your
street.
own garbage pickup, if I wanna hire Jesse Soul to pick up my
And-
garbage, that's my option. If I wanna hire John Weatherby, that's my option. I can hire anybody I want to pick up my garbage.
Right, because you live in the town and you don't live in a
That's the way
special
it should
service
be in the
district.
village too. If he
But-
wants, he can hire whoever he wants to
Over
pick up his
50% of
garbage.
the people in the special service district disagrees with you, Scott, because they got voted in.
That's fine. I
But then
think,
you guys let the landlords out.
I don't think it got voted in. I think it
Yes, it
just
did.
all
Yes, it
came
did.
I
about
can
with
tell you
the,
exactly when it got voted in.
with the, when they merged from the village to the town, a lot of things
Nope,
went.
there was a vote right on the upstairs floor.
There was.
I was there, Bob Shover nominated me for the Richford Playground Committee the same night as the vote. Because we had to check yes or no, write it on a piece of paper, and
Do
we
you
all.
remember
wrote it
what
down.
year that was?
I don't know, but I found it a while ago.
I've
when I
been
was
trying to
looking through
find
some
it
stuff.
to prove it, but,
Eric Collins knows when it was.
no, maybe. I'll ask him, but
Because
sometime.
I know that vote was then, because I remember.
Seems though to me, the people in the outside, out of the special service district should have voted too, because we're the one that has to pay the bill if the other village
right.
people
And
don't
that's
pay
the
it.
fallacy in it. That's because it comes out
Because you
of the
guys
general
aren't taking
fund.
care of the system.
Has there been,
We
is
need
there
to
an
get rid of the
exact like
system.
thing that you guys are proposing as the new charter? Like you have a.
No, he wants to get rid of
plan.
We don't want to be in the garbage business.
Do you think that it's possible that, like Carl's super passionate, that there is a committee that either Michael or I could work with people to help come up with some suggestions
Oh,
that
we've-
we've researched to
Levi,
support you guys?
I'm not looking to shut you down, but we've kicked around
See,
everything.
This is what you get, Levi. This is so negative on this topic.
But
No,
you know,
we've
we've done, I
kicked
do wanna
around
say, Tim's done a lot of
everything.
research on this.
We
like-
have considered doing away with stickers. We've considered single-use vessels. We've considered individual pickup. We've considered,
Transfer station.
transfer stations.
Yeah, a transfer station would cost you twice as much money. In Alberg, when the,
But it could be private,
what do you mean private? Well,
private transfer
John
John
station.
the
No,
town.
you won't get a transfer station. You're gonna get, like Sylvester's has, because the garbage can't touch the ground. It's gotta go from one truck to the next truck without touching the ground.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, it's different
No, we're
between a
talking
drop-off,
about,
difference
like,
between a
Montgomery's.
drop-off station and a transfer station.
Yeah, that's
Montgomery has a drop-off.
Drop-off.
station.
and by the
we would-
solid waste
that's what we
district,
do.
which Tim's on the board,
Yeah.
how much money would you guys make out of that?
The solid waste board?
Yeah, what would
Probably
your
nothing.
profits be?
Probably nothing.
I looked through your things today, and it looks like you make profits from your other sites. that
Right,
you-
because those were established over 10 years ago as a need to fulfill in the individual communities.
And it sounds like you're trying to create the need for it to be here.
I don't know. I talked to the solid waste people about it, and to be honest with you, they're not really interested in doing it. And John came to me and said, if you go to a drop-off site, I'd like to be considered, if it has to go out to bid, I'd like to be considered to operate it privately.
I think we have a system that's needed. It
It
cuts
can't-
down on truck traffic in the neighborhoods.
It
and
can't be maintained. It
Because
can't.
you're too lazy to do it.
Who is
Oh,
too
I'm
lazy
lazy,
to
yeah,
do it?
okay.
Yeah, you are.
That's right.
Why don't you just fix the system? Every time
You
you
can't.
discuss this on TV,
You can't.
you're negative about the system. You
Because
want to
it's
attach it to
broken.
people's houses.
It's broken, and right now, the way it exists, it can't be fixed.
Why can't it be fixed?
Because there's,
Fairfax has the same
there's so
system.
many, no, Fairfax is based on
There's
a,
another town that has the same
There's
system.
two towns that have
Yeah.
the same,
Exactly.
yeah, and I
But
don't
it's
know which one it
townwide.
is.
It's not just a special services district, it's the whole town.
It's the whole town.
that's the thing. And there's,
Why don't
there's
you
so
take
many.
water, Scott? Give everybody in the whole town water and
Because
sewer.
it's
Do
in-
it, just everybody in the whole town. Same thing. It's not
can't do-
feasible, it's
We
not
don't have the
logical.
infrastructure for that. You don't have the infrastructure to provide water and
You know,
sewer
Let's
to
not get off the
everybody in
topic
town.
onto
I don't wanna
water.
get off topic,
Right,
and I
right,
don't wanna
right,
get
right.
too mad. Hard for this. But Levi says we had special garbage collections, because people throw their garbage all over. You ride around town, walk around town, look at the garages and things full of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
With this system we have. Can you imagine getting rid of this off the town charters? We don't have
Fields
it.
and Road.
What's it gonna be like?
I'm in agreement with you.
I
So,
can't tell you how many back roads, when Chris Martell was here, that we would travel and there'd be piles of trash and we'd go through it to try to find out whose name was on it. Half the time they'd move from town and we'd go knocking on the doors. They were gone, they just dumped their trash, you know? I mean, I'm not,
People that move, that just leave
right, they
their
just,
trash.
or leave it in their apartments. Across the street, we had one day, there was garbage, 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 and we ended up, I think, Scott, didn't we end up taking it? Or did we, something,
I don't
3 or
know
4
what
truckloads.
instance you're talking about, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
I
you.
know, but.
I just think the
How,
system
how
should
would
be
you,
fixed.
how would you see us going forward? I welcome your
Seriously, what
input.
I would do,
I would welcome your input.
I would have a discussion with John. I would start with John, say, John, you know, how can we fix this? You know, we got people living by themselves, one bag, then we got
He might have an
two
idea.
bags. He might have an idea, might have a 2-tier system.
I'm
had a
gonna
lot of-
say that we
I've
should
had a
only
lot of
spend 5 more
discussions.
minutes on this, okay?
I'm sorry?
Tonight, I'm
gotta-
gonna say we should only spend 5 more minutes and either set up another meeting to discuss it with some results. Where are you guys going? See there, I'm losing people.
Where are they going?
Be right back.
Okay. So,
Carlos,
keep talking, but
I've
I think
had
5
those
minutes is
discussions with
good.
John, and we talked
And
about.
have John here
I
now.
said, would you be willing to take over all of the billing?
And he told you yes.
Yes, he did, okay?
So why is the issue with the,
Because he doesn't know how much money it's gonna cost him.
why do you care? He wants to do it.
Right.
Okay, I'll let him do it.
If he's still doing this $88 with a new increase, and he's gonna do the billing, why would you care?
Because the charter says the town has to have an involvement in it, okay? And we just can't give it to him because the town has to have some responsibility.
You're gonna
What's-
have some
What's our
involvement?
responsibility in it?
You're gonna have some responsibility in it, Tim, because you're still gonna manage the contract every year, every 2
2 or
years.
3 years.
3
You're
years.
gonna manage policies like, hey, John, if you're gonna charge us $125 a quarter, we're gonna put out for bids to somebody else. And when Bruce Weatherby had the contract, it went for years and years and years without going out for bids. But now John's got it. Everything's a big fight.
Well,
Well,
I
we did bid
put
with-
it out
we
to
did
bid
bid with
a
Yeah, I
number
did
of
put it out
times.
to bid.
We
I had-
did bid.
You did.
I did, I
Right.
had 3 people.
Yes, we
put it
had
out bid on.
Sylvester too.
Down the
and-
road,
Yeah.
if John gets too expensive, or every
Go with
year, put
somebody
it
else.
up for bid.
Every year,
I
every
think
3
it went
years.
out
3
to
years.
bid every 3 years.
3 years.
Every
It
year.
did.
Not when Bruce Weatherby did it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
No, it
3
didn't.
years.
I was on the board and it never went out for bids. And
Well,
Dale
must
Gergen
be
made a
since I've
deal
been
with
on the
John, Bruce, as long as you kept everything smooth.
That
there'd
was
be-
Dale.
It never went for bid. Go look in your history.
Well, I know since I've been on the board, it's been out for
I was
bid.
Yeah,
gonna say,
well, I was
since
on
I've been
board.
back
Maybe-
involved with
maybe
the town, it's gone
historically,
out for
but-
bid every 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Since I've been on the board for 13 years, we put
It
it out
has
for
in the
bid.
last
In the
10
past.
years.
Yeah,
After Randy Shepherd.
I wasn't here
got
for
the
Randy
garbage
Shepherd,
business
I
and
know.
Bruce started it. Bruce got
Well, that
everything
was the
going
beginning
smooth.
of Bruce, but I tell you, I've been on the board for 13 years and we've done 3-year contracts. Bruce has always been the best bid, that's why we had Bruce. Prior to that, yeah, I'm sure you're right, but I know that since I've been on the board, we've always put it out to bid. And we've interviewed, and Bruce always came in with the best offer.
And I'm thinking the reason why is, I had talked to John 2 years ago about this and him taking over the building, and he was fine with all that too. But then it came to the board and we had a lot of people coming, a couple.
Yeah, we had some people
And
come.
they said that we were not allowed to do that. We have to do the billing.
Where does it say that?
No, it doesn't, we
It
don't have
doesn't,
to. We
but
don't
it
have to.
beca- no, it says we have to manage it.
That doesn't mean we have to
We have to
bill.
provide the service.
We have
I
to
think is
provide
how-
the
Provide,
service, and
not
that was my
manage.
argument.
You
That's
provide
when
a
I started
service.
calling our lawyers to see about the.
So
Because
how are
sometimes when
we
you
providing
read
that
law,
service?
you're like,
We're
you
hiring
kind of go either way with it.
John, yeah.
We pay the water bill, but.
Where do you pay the water bill?
Come here and pay the water bill.
That's right, and
We
we're
can come
not,
here and
no,
pay the
that's,
thing.
that's part of the
Sign up.
problem.
That's what the problem was, is that people started bringing that
Where
was
does
2
it
years
say
ago. It says that we have to manage it and oversee it.
It says, no, it doesn't say that.
It just says we have to provide.
I think it
We have
just
to
says
provide-
provide the service.
Provide the
Provide
service.
For the
garbage
source
pickup.
she brought up where it says.
We
manage
have to have the service. We have to provide for
The
garbage.
service,
Yeah.
right, and we have to oversee it.
Right, we have to make
Select
sure
board
it's
shall set
running.
the rate of such service certificate to cover the expenses of the contract.
That's what, there.
So you just set the price. You
Yeah.
just tell
Right.
John, or John says it's
John sets
$88,
the price,
so
tells
it's
us.
$88 for whatever.
And we say, okay, and he
And
can do
if-
the billing.
then he's gonna know.
Works for me.
He doesn't pay.
Because that's what we
He'll
tried
know,
to do 2
yeah.
years ago. Remember? I had the lawyer and everything. This
Yeah.
is back when we had.
See, there's options to getting the
This
system
is
fixed.
the letter from the lawyer from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay? There you go.
So I would suggest that we set up a separate meeting just for garbage instead of, if,
So what are you
with
gonna
John.
pursue? You're gonna pursue getting rid of the town charter? You're gonna pursue the special service district, voting to get rid of it?
We don't
do you
need
wanna
a
do?
hearing if we don't wanna change the charter.
Well, I know, but
Okay.
you
We need
propose
to
changing
discuss
the
it amongst the
charter.
board.
Okay, and
That's
then maybe have John and any other garbage haulers here or anybody
Come
interested.
down. Yep.
And have a
Yep.
special meeting just for trash, because we spend a half an hour on it,
Yep.
and we should just talk about trash at that meeting, nothing else.
But just another little note of interest from when I go back and I look at your meetings when you guys discuss garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, you seem to be awful negative about the garbage program. You want to get rid of it. 'Cause-
No, I'm
just let me
following
finish.
from what I'm hearing from the other board members that we
I
want to
don't
be
hear
out
that
of
saying
the.
they're
I
gonna-
like the garbage.
I pers-
I'm making it on camera, I
I
like the way it
personally,
is.
when I lived in Montgomery, I liked their dump station over there because it cost me $3 a week to get rid of my
Right,
garbage.
but you've got old
But now
people
it
like
would share,
me.
because in Albert, to get rid of that, if you're a resident, it's 20 cents a pound.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're non-resident, it's like 30 cents a pound.
Yep.
So that 35-pound bag you're putting out to John Weatherby for like less than $4 is gonna cost you, what is it,
9, no,
8, 9
Yeah,
bucks?
9 bucks.
So that's
And then I used
double.
to have another provider and they charged me $18 a week. Not a week, a month, sorry.
And you've gotta
Because they were
consider
picking up
people
right
like me
next
that
to
are
me.
not gonna take all
So
their
they were
trash
like, "I'll
somewhere
share
and
yours." I say-
unload
So
it.
you see what I'm saying, I never paid larger garbage until I moved to Richford.
Yeah.
That's what I've
I don't know,
said.
I was mad when I first moved to Richford, but then I got used to it and liked it.
That's what I mean.
I-
I'm on the
came in
system
this hot
too,
place
and I would
raging.
vote to keep it.
It's 50 something bucks a quarter cheaper for us.
I
I
don't,
know. That's why I think we need to have a meeting and really discuss it out and have the hauler here as well.
no, what you have to do is determine, an RFP and you have a pre-bid meeting for
Yeah,
everybody that wants to
fine.
come to
To
it.
come in and give
And,
their
and
opinions
you
and their
set,
thoughts.
you
and
set
then
the
set up for them.
RFP under whatever specifics you want the system to operate under. I have to get a legal opinion if
Go right
our
ahead, you're in charge.
participation of just reletting the contract every 3 years is enough,
Right.
okay?
We've done it for 40 years.
But
Yeah,
you
but we've
haven't
taken care
because
of the billing,
we've billed, we've
We've done all
collected
that
the
part.
money.
And we might
That's-
change that
that's
to have
The
John
town
bill.
charter says that's fine.
But we don't wanna do that. That's
So
the
you want to get
problem.
rid of the town charter?
No, we
No,
want to get rid of the
we
bill.
that's what
don't
the
wanna,
vote is
we don't
for.
wanna bill and collect for the trash as a town. If a hauler wants to do it, great, okay? And that's how the RFP would be structured.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I would recommend people get together and discuss what they want in a special service district. If you want, whatever you want, any changes you want to make, whatever, then you would put it out to bids to say, hey, what are
Yes,
you
that's
going
what
to
he had
charge?
just said, yeah.
Agree with you that we should say, have
Well-
a meeting just on garbage.
Yep.
A hearing on garbage, anybody that wants to come, give their opinion, then they can, Tim's in charge of garbage.
So this would be just special service
Well, I
district
would,
people?
I've got to read and see if everybody gets to vote on it, everybody should give
Well,
their,
if everybody gets to vote, if you're going to change the town charter,
but not if you're adding, doing the
but
garbage,
not
just
if
the
you
garbage.
want
Yeah,
to
I know.
change the special service district.
Exactly, exactly. So that could be discussed at this hearing if you want to set
That's
one up.
fine. No,
Okay,
I'll be
why don't we
happy to
say
do
that
it.
we're gonna set up a hearing? You'll have to do it.
Well, there's two dates that are in that notice, and they were originally sent out only to the special district, and it talked about changing the charter. If we don't want to change the charter, which is what I was led to believe before we got into all of this, then we can do whatever we want. We
If
can
we
have
don't
a
change the
special
charter, we
district.
have to hire a garbage person, so we're gonna have to
We
do something
have to
soon.
provide the service.
Right.
And,
And
but
it means
we
we have
make
to hire
the
someone.
determination as to what that would look like.
Tim, so if
And
your
I'd be willing
intention,
to take, I would be willing to take input from anybody in the special district, that's fine, okay? But you don't bring haulers in at that meeting.
No, have a meeting
Right,
first,
that's
and then the haulers can bid however you
Yeah,
decide.
That's fine.
Tim, so if your intent when the letter was sent out for a charter change, so this letter only notified people of the special service district.
That's correct,
I did
because
notice
because
why-
that's not officially the warning, okay? I planned to warn it this week, it goes in the Courier as the newspaper, and the notice goes here, the notice goes down the store,
To have
the
a
notice
meeting
goes
with the people in the special services?
for
That's to change
the
the town
original
charter, the original
hearing
plan.
to
Okay.
change the charter,
All right.
okay?
Oh, I see, okay.
And that notice goes out to everybody. It's not selective to only you guys.
So now I can't be done because you wouldn't meet the
We're over the
timelines
time.
That's
of the
what.
30
that-
days.
So, but
that's
we
why
can
I
still
said-
have a meeting discussing the trash?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But the meeting wouldn't be to change the charter.
No, it would be to gather
understand.
information, okay?
Because we can't meet those dates, I agree with you. After reading
It's too
this,
late.
I was of the understanding that the meeting was the day of the vote.
Right.
Okay,
But
that's
this
why
can't
we
stop us
stretched
from
it.
having
A
the
lot of
discussion.
problems happening in the town of Richford, if somebody would take a little more time before they did something, things would be a little smoother.
We've been discussing this for 6 months.
We've discussing
Yeah, but you
this
didn't
for
send
4
out-
years.
6 years.
6 years since I've been
I
on.
mean, you just sent this out, I just got this on Saturday.
I know, because I wanted to try to keep people informed. Please come to the meeting. But obviously, he said that the timing is incorrect. I made a mistake, okay? So.
So let's
that's what
set
it's
up
gonna
a
be.
time when
I
we're just gonna
understand.
talk about trash,
I-
but not the hauler business.
I understand.
The information,
I
then
understand.
you can meet with the haulers after, and if we can't do it this year, maybe next year, or if there's no time to
Well,
change charter, that's what I'm
We
saying.
have a 6-month extension on the contract.
Okay, yes, I know we do that,
And so.
but if we
that's
don't have
gonna
time to
expire in
do
the summer.
charter
That
this
gives you
year, we
till
can't.
June, so.
Right,
No, we can. It would have to be a special election.
special election, yeah.
That's all.
Okay, so
Or,
an informational meeting
or
first.
if I, yeah, okay.
all right.
I gotta check the meeting, whether the charter means the
Right.
day of the vote.
I would call
or
Garrett
the-
Baxter from the state before I'd call our lawyers.
I tried calling the Secretary of State, like I said.
That's the one.
And I'm still
did
waiting
last
for a
week.
phone call.
He
'cause
will
they're all
answer
working
though,
it.
and they will give you the proper, because they have the
The
statute or
statutes.
whatever it is where we got, because I've consulted with, but never, our
I'll be
lawyer's
happy to
fine, but
do-
we're unique.
Whatever this board wants to do,
I
I'll
would
be
like you
happy
to call
do.
Garrett Baxter, I'd like to have a hearing, and then take it from there. And you can certainly come to
So it
the
would just
hearing.
be an informational meeting, not a hearing.
Just to discuss
Because
what
you're
we're
not gonna
discussing
change the
tonight,
town.
because we can't spend 2 hours on it, but we could
One
in
more
a
quick thing
hearing.
about it before I go. Tim,
Okay.
you said that you would like to change the system to, into your water bill and your sewer bill.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be, that would be a nightmare. Because somebody that has trouble paying their taxes are now gonna get another big bill, and next thing you know, the policy is $1,000 with the town, they can put your house up for tax sale.
That's correct.
So, do you really wanna be taking people's houses?
No,
No,
we
we
have
don't.
enough trouble.
We would like people to pay the taxes. We would like people.
Well, that can be discussed at that meeting as well.
So that would be addressed, Tim, by letting John do the billing. Then
It
he
could
would-
be. It
Then you
could be.
guys will be the
And
bank.
if he
that
got
would.
screwed out of the money, then probably
Exactly.
he'll stop picking up the
Right.
Yeah, the
trash.
problem
We're the
is-
bank.
is there's
We're the
some
bank,
people
and if
that
you get rid
are-
of that bank, then he's the bank.
Exactly, and if he can't, if they're not paying him, he doesn't pick up the trash. But we can't do all that
Then it ends
secretarial
up
work of
beside the road.
seeing. Yeah.
Right.
In somebody's garage.
Instead of the
Right.
whole town putting aside the road.
Exactly,
it's like you.
exactly, because we cannot
Well, there's only a
monitor the town.
handful.
I will post a warning for an upcoming informational
But you know,
meeting to
some
discuss
people would like
trash.
to pay their bill, and I know some people that do come here to buy stickers. When they buy the stickers, it doesn't go towards their bill, they just get the sticker.
Well, because they
I
don't
know.
get the stickers if they don't bring cash.
Well, you're still just building up a.
I mean,
fake
I have
bill.
enough stickers, blue stickers, but I'm gonna pay my garbage bill because I.
Put them on
I do.
Craigslist, maybe you can sell them.
Oh,
I've got
people
enough for the
selling
rest
at
of
yard
the.
sales.
I know. Well, they've been paid for, like you said, Carl. Okay, thank you for coming, and
But
Tim's gonna set up a meeting, it's gonna be warned, and
Yeah.
we'll
Yep.
And it'll just be about garbage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh, you're not a visitor. You are though. Okay. Michael?
Well, Levi and I were supposed to talk about the rail trail extension.
Where is
Does she
Levi?
have,
I don't know.
does she have an allergic reaction? Is that what that is?
Is
The ambulance is outside for a 41-year-old female.
for a 41-year-old female is, oh, maybe that's why. Do you have the information or do you wanna?
Well, it was about kind of how we should move forward with it.
I said forget about it, but that's me.
And
21 years.
Because we're having problems with the easement with Pat
Been
Stanton.
having trouble
Right.
with them for years.
Right. And when we
Yes,
talked to
the
him, this
door
was
must
this
be
is
open.
this
Yeah.
was a couple months ago. We talked to him, and his worry if it goes right through his property is he can't have a place to put his logs, or if we do go through a safety hazard, if someone's
Yeah,
there
I
and he's
know.
moving, and so we're kind of just trying to figure out
The problem
how to
is,
work around that.
when that easement, when that property was considered, he didn't own it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And now he doesn't want it, and he has every right not to want it.
Right. And so that's kind of the thing. Like we.
Is he the only clog? Do you
I think he's the biggest one. He's at the
Because
the
I was gonna
beginning
say,
of it.
can't you start it above that? At Fred's.
Fred, Robert doesn't care.
I know he doesn't.
willing
I
to
know
do
he
it.
doesn't. I know
It's
he
just,
doesn't.
yeah, Pat, I don't want, yeah, we're trying to figure out how to.
It's been this
do
way
all
for
that.
10 years that I've been on the board,
Do-
12,
right.
13
Do you have
years.
information about the deeded easement that's on the property?
Yes.
Yes.
I have s-
And what is that about?
Let's see, one of these has sections of it.
Something about Joe
So
Polian.
it does have easement in there, was it Casana or
If we took him to court, we could do it, but do we wanna do that?
right, and it's a business, so like, we don't wanna,
Right, we don't want to
And we don't wanna get rid of a business by.
Right.
We're losing them one by one.
Can you shut that door?
Yeah, can you shut the outside? Oh, that's where it was
What
going.
I'm doing.
Thank you.
Whoa.
but, yeah, so in the Casana one here, it says there's a, retained by the grantor is a right-of-way 30 feet in width, running in the easternly, westerly direction, lying adjacent to the southerly border, or your boundary, which is like 2.65 acres, which is his lot. Of the above described parcel, right-of-way shall be used for pedestrian and vehicular traffic, shall be used in common by the grantor, grantee, and the respective successors and assigns. So, that's what his parcel says
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it exists.
It
We can
does.
just enforce it.
I found that 10 well, when I first got on the board, I found that
Right.
clause.
Used by him and his
I-
successor.
But we don't wanna make him mad and have him,
Well,
I know.
he was all for it originally.
Yes, I know.
Well, the thing was,
Everybody was.
whatever he had in his deed said it was like for 1 year. Like that was his
Yeah.
complaint. And
I,
Well, because Joe Poliander had that put in there.
so there's
Yeah.
like conflicting things with it. So that's like we're confused. Is like how do we go with this? And then what?
what's the deed that's on file in the land records?
That's what I
That's
just
what he
read.
just
Then
read.
we have an easement.
I would say.
Right.
Yeah, well, we've said that for years.
But you,
But we
again,
haven't.
Could
though.
we
you don't want
negotiate
this.
and?
Well, that's what
you
we're
know,
trying to do.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do with them.
So
And-
do you have something you want us to approve as negotiations, or
Well, so the thing was a land swap.
what does he want?
Well, this is what we.
Oh, okay.
proposed. This is not him. Like this is kind
You
of
haven't
we're just thinking. No, yeah, this
Talk
is
to
just.
him yet?
And was be like giving him a portion of the town land that's right next to him, so he can have a place to put his logs, and he's kind of away from what the trail would be.
I bet the answer will still be no.
Same thing we talked about. like,
Yeah, we talked
3
about it.
meetings ago. or
Yeah.
something.
Well, you
All
never
right.
talked to
Oh,
him?
really?
With that
Because
being
he's-
said, did
yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
check to see if there was anything on that as being unused land? Or to be
Well,
parcel
Well, we'd have
land
to
or
swap it,
something?
we'd have to give it to him.
Right, no.
What do you
That
mean?
land that we wanna swap to him, someone said that the gentleman that gave it to the town, it was only allowed to be used as,
Park or something.
As,
Yeah,
as
public
the
property.
trail.
yeah.
Okay.
So you might wanna look into that.
And I think we already have had that land tested for, make sure there was no hazardous waste
Right.
on it. Because it did belong to the railroad at one point.
Right. And that's where like so we got a letter from the attorney about it. And she said we were wondering about how would that work. She said it's pretty straightforward for town land for an easement to swap them. But yeah, this is where it's like let's see. I'm just trying to read where what.
Have you met with him yet? You haven't met with him?
Like,
So-
yeah, I did.
Oh,
2
you
months.
did?
I was with Levi and we did. But this was like what came out of that meeting
Oh,
and what
okay.
we're kind of just
Yeah.
exploring our
Yeah.
options now. Yeah, I mean, this is just like with the legal part of it, but I don't think there's really any legal concern for it.
No, I don't either.
I think she said it's pretty straightforward. But it might be more, I'm not, this is where Levi would come in, this is what she wanted to look at.
Right, right.
I wasn't sure
I don't
what she
think
was-
she's gonna be available.
No, I don't think so either. I think
It's been a while.
This was something she wanted to explore. I'm
I
not sure what she
would
was
say
going
they
for.
should pursue it
Yes.
if you're all in
I'm in
agreement.
agreement.
And
we need to
then come
pursue
back
it.
to us and tell us
Okay.
what the outcome was, right?
Well, I think
I'm
if we
not
got
in
a right of
agreement.
way down through there
Yeah.
already,
Right.
that maybe we should negotiate
Right,
supplying a fence or
yeah.
helping it out so
Well,
it'd be
that
safer
grant
for
will pay for
pedestrians.
fencing. They said that they would put
Sounds
fencing
to
on.
me like we already have the right of way.
That's
Yeah, I think
correct.
we do, because there was a big holdup on it, and then all of a sudden, as I was reading it, I said, we have a right of way. This was like,
20 years ago.
well, no, I haven't been on that long, but it was probably 8 or 9 years ago. Because
Right,
we,
this was-
we operated on the fact that we didn't, and
I would
I'm
think-
reading it, and I said, yes, we
I would think
do.
just negotiate
Yeah.
and supply maybe some of his needs to make it
Right.
a safer.
Because they will do that in that grant. They said they would build fences or whatever the landowner wanted to get the.
Sounds to me like
Yeah.
he's just trying to go one jump ahead and get more land out of it, but. I would
Right,
think-
well, I mean, the thing
Why
is,
don't you-
we're taking away from his land,
Right.
which is not.
Well,
very
he
big.
bought it with,
He
the
took it away right there.
he bought it with the easement.
With the
That's
easement,
right.
yes, he did.
He knew the easement was there.
He did.
And it doesn't just go away if it's a deeded
Exactly. It
easement.
stays with you forever.
Right.
So why don't you look into that, what we just said,
Sure.
about, do you want a fence, do you want to swap some land?
She okay?
And
Yeah.
she's not coming back though, no. And then come back to us at the next meeting and tell us what
Okay.
conversation you've had.
Okay, I'll explain.
Is that good with everybody? I mean, it's been 25, 30 years, why
What's
not
that?
another
What's another
couple
week?
weeks? Yeah, that's exactly, what's another week? So if everybody's agreeable to that, there you are, yes? Talk to
Well, we
Pat
got-
Stanley.
Yeah, we gotta keep working on it.
And do you wanna offer him some of our land, or what,
Well, we
what is
could.
our land down there? I don't know.
But
what
we
it-
have to find out
Well,
though if
Levi
there is
had a
a
parcel
stipulation.
drawn out on a map.
Okay, well then, next
Yeah.
time Levi will be
Yeah.
here too.
Yeah,
But
there's,
you know, it goes back to this
Candy in that.
selling of land, and it's a months-long process. You know, so, but, yeah, I think if there's a
no, I'm good.
easement that's there,
Yeah,
and he was happy to abide by
Yeah,
this
he
when it was initially in the deed, when he got the property. And he can't have buyer's remorse. It can't be like,
no, he can't.
You know.
But he is, and
Well, he
do we
is.
wanna take him to court? No.
no, but, and we don't wanna lose a business either.
Right.
But I'm not gonna give away town land.
But if it's town land we don't use, we're just putting,
Well, we gotta make sure, even if we did wanna do a land swap of some
that
sort,
it's
that
legal.
it's,
There's
that it's
those,
Right, so that would be
legal
the
to
next step
do. If there
figure
was
that
some
out.
sort of stipulation,
Right.
I think it was,
we've gotta look up the deed to that land that he
Yeah,
wants.
we got-
Stryker
that's
that
right,
actually
definitely do that.
donated the
Yes.
land or something?
yes, I do remember, yes.
But what?
Stryker is the one who donated the land.
For the whole land, and his donation at the time, because I talked to him about it was to be used for a park and/or recreation, a park and/or recreation.
Well, that is
If
recreation,
he's got that stipulation in there, it's pretty hard to just,
Give
right.
that
Do a
land
land
somewhere
And it
else.
would be good to use, yeah, yeah, he can't
that's
use
something
it for
that's all
wood.
gotta be
Right.
researched and
Yeah,
figured.
Yeah, so maybe that'll give you something to do for a week or two.
What's he researching?
Researching the rail trail.
about Stryker's,
Donation.
Doing a
donation of
land
the
swap
land.
to keep Pat Stanley. to
So I think
allow us
that
to-
And
that's all
Tim
we
had
can
said
tell
he
you.
talked to him, he
Okay.
said he gave it to the town because he wanted it park or recreational.
That's correct.
Which would be the
So
rail
we
trail.
can't swap it to let him put wood on it,
Right,
and we already have the easement that was
And I
already in the
thi- and
deed.
I think it was donated,
Yep,
like there was a dollar transaction
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something to make it legal. So it wasn't, you gotta appreciate the guys,
yeah. Yeah, you have to,
mean
you
on
have to
the-
go
the
by it.
Stryker parcel.
yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you look up Stryker, was it Steven Stryker?
John, I think. is-
John, Steven's the kid, John Stryker,
Yeah.
deed, and then, we meet again in 2 weeks, if you could, you know, and Levi, talk to her, and,
All right, sounds good.
sounds good to me. Anybody? All right, you have anything else you wanna talk about? Okay,
That was a big thing for me.
that's the big one.
That was.
It's been a big one for 21 years, so
Yeah.
I hope you don't grow old trying to do it.
Here's, just as a point of information,
Okay,
Mr. Weatherby has $252 outstanding trash bill. And,
Mr. Weatherby.
Carl, that was just here.
and
No.
Without him
no,
being
no.
here, no. No.
that's public record.
It
Then
is,
if
but it
somebody
doesn't
wants
need
to look it
be-
up, it
yes.
doesn't need to be at a meeting.
Doesn't need to be
When he's
put
just
out there.
left.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But
Okay, Scott, you wanna give a roads report?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
It snowed.
Back on, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
back-
I did have an interview lined up with a guy.
Oh, did he leave? I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
told him to go and, cause
Oh,
I
we
knew,
could've taken him
I
just
knew this
now.
was gonna be a long
I
dragged
know.
out thing, the way I see it getting started, so I went out and talked to him and,
Did you interview him?
no, I didn't.
Which one was he?
The guy lives up here on South Main Street. I've set up an interview for him and another guy tomorrow, one at 3 o'clock, one at 4 o'clock here at the town hall
Yeah,
tomorrow.
4 p.m.
I'll be here, I don't know if anybody else can be here or not, but see what we can do for that. I can at
Would
least
you
talk.
interview him by yourself if somebody else shows up, you'd be fine?
I can,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you who you hire probably anyway.
Those are the only two
I can't be.
applicants I have basically at this
I might be.
point.
I need a ride.
We've still got issues with the parking ban, I don't know.
Now, what are
Back
the
up-
issues?
Back up to 10 or 12 cars parked on the street.
I know, I
I
noticed
see
that.
2 on River Street every
Three, four
day.
up
Do we
there.
have any, well, they all belong to the same, do we have anybody to tow them? No.
No,
That's
we do
that's
not.
the issue.
I've got a
Coda will
question.
not tow
I got a
them.
question.
Who will
We were-
not?
We were
Coda out
just
of Swan.
talking about easements, and the way we just read that easement, why doesn't that pertain to that address too? And why aren't we back in that?
I would think it would, but it's not up to the town. to
It's
pass
not
No,
up
it's
to
up
the
to the
town
people.
to
In a
do this
courtroom.
That
one.
live there.
No, like we were just talking how we, this one here, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know. who you're-
Lucier House,
Yeah.
Yes, the house
next
up
to the
here.
Dorian Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
With 4 cars on the road all the time.
Yes.
Plow 'em in.
Because they're not supposed to, they can't get to their driveway,
That's
but
not
they
the
have a.
answer, Linda.
But
Yeah, they
that's,
have an easement, and it's on the deeds, all deeds.
Mm-hmm.
To go through that property and have a parking lot, and every time they park on their property, they get a fine from here.
From us, how can they get a fine from us?
they shouldn't get a fine from
They're not
us.
getting a fine from
It's
us.
Yeah,
not-
they are,
Have you seen the
yes.
ticket?
Who sends the tickets?
Who's giving the
John
ticket?
does, because they're parked too close to the neighbor's land.
Oh,
They're coming
John-
over the
John
sidewalk, they're
Libby.
doing curbs, whatever.
He doesn't have any police
And
authority.
they deny them doing curb stops or asking to do curb stops for their easement because it's a matter between the two houses.
Well, that's their problem.
They're different cases. This is an easement that specifically says public use.
Mm-hmm.
That's a private use. John shouldn't be writing
No,
them
John
tickets.
shouldn't be doing that. So,
So,
So the zoning board can write a ticket?
no,
no, they can,
no, they can't.
they can cite them, and if it goes all the
I'd
way
like
through
to see
the
the
courts, then the judge can implement a $200 per day fine.
Yep, he's doing $15.
But this is a civil, this is a civil matter right now.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone to the courts.
Well,
John
in order
can't
to
send-
enforce our parking ban, getting back to that.
Yeah,
we-
yeah, let's talk
We've
about
gotta
that.
find somebody to do towing, which I guess is basically impossible to
Yeah.
do, so.
Because they get yelled at every time they take a,
Yeah.
or somebody cuts the
So
fence and takes their car
We're gonna have to come up
anyway.
with something different
That
there,
happened.
either go back to parking fines or something.
And why do you say we can't plow them in?
Well, for one, you gotta get snow, and that's really
Well,
not
I
the.
know, but when there is snow and you plow them
Two
in
wrongs.
once, that
I
should
think
Two wrongs don't make
make
a
a
right,
right.
in
I
my
know,
book.
but if
Scott,
I had
did
to
you
dig my
ever,
car out, I'd move it.
But if
Did
they
you
had
ever
an emergency and they
Research
had to
the
get
boat,
out.
how much that would cost?
They're like
That could be a
$75.
liability
I know.
to us.
$75 a piece?
But we'd have to restructure our parking ordinances and say they're gonna be
No, it would take
bolted and
through the
rewrite
winter
it.
to warm.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same thing, yeah, right now it's written up, so we'll tow vehicles, that's the way it's written.
Right.
We don't have a tow.
We don't have a tower and that's not our fault.
And it's not just these 3-4 cars here, these here,
Right.
there's some up on Sweat Street,
They're
there's
all
one
over
on
the
North
place.
Avenue, they're just,
Yeah, the one on Special Street, almost
there's
clip everybody.
chatter on Facebook with just people randomly putting out, what happened to there's not a parking ban in Richford anymore?
I saw
So
that.
there's all kinds of people picking up.
Well, see, these apartments should have parking for their people behind the apartment.
They do.
They do,
And they should be parking there.
they
Yep.
should.
So
But
maybe
we'd
the
have to go
landlords
have
need to get
enforcement.
fined, but we can't fine them because we don't have an ordinance.
Yes.
And this- we
Catch-22
discuss
all
this
the way
every,
around.
we do this every year.
Was there
Does
someone
it say?
Was,
Sorry, go ahead.
was there someone supposed to research other
Yeah, I did. I talked to Codas and Swanton, because they're
They
all
won't do
about advertising that they got a big wreck and they
Easiest-
provide a service station and everything else, and they said, we're too busy with our service calls, we're not interested in
Nobody
coming all the
will
way
do
to
it.
Richford
Nobody will
to
do it.
tow cars. Now, the question I was gonna ask is, and I know it would put the town in a world of hurt, but, it doesn't say specifically how we tow them away.
Yeah, but are we liable for any damage?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say. You
Why
could-
don't we boot them?
Well, we can do that
That's not the
too.
way the ordinance is written. though.
Right.
You'd have
Yes.
to rewrite the
Yeah.
ordinance.
And then we'd have
Right
to
now,
warn it
it's
for 30
written for
days.
towing.
Right.
And specifically, it was for Ricky Mason. He had it,
And why won't Ricky
No,
do it now? I know he's not
he
feeling well.
just doesn't wanna do
Doesn't
it.
wanna do it. Well, there's too much hassle when you take somebody's car and they threaten to kill you. Or you put it up in the parking lot like we did one time, and the person went and cut the wires and took his car anyway. And came in here and told us he was gonna kill us. So, is it worth it? No. I'd plow them in. I know you can't, but I'd plow
Well, we
them in.
do. They get plowed in if they're on the street.
But that doesn't solve the
It
problem.
doesn't solve it, but after a couple times of getting plowed in, I think I'd find a place to put my car, so I didn't have to dig it out.
No, you had mentioned, have you talked to the sheriff at all, Scott?
I called the sheriff the other day and he said if we're out plowing at, say, 4 in the morning and we get a plate number and we call dispatch, there's always an officer on duty. We could leave a message and the officer would call us back and we could give him the plate number and they could follow up on it. But I would think if
Well, we
they
should do
patrol these streets and they come down Main Street and see a car that's
But they're not
parked
here
on
at 4
Main
o'clock.
Street that's got 6 inches of snow
Yeah,
on it, and
6
see it hasn't been moved in a day, they could ticket up right there without us giving notice then.
Right.
Would we be able to negotiate with the sheriff to have someone start 3
We're
or
gonna
4
pay.
o'clock in the
We're gonna
morning?
I
pay.
think we would, but I don't know if the parking ordinance now is set up so it is enforced with ticketing. I think it was set up to be enforced with towing.
But they're
It
parking
was.
in a no parking
They're illegal
zone,
park.
so they could get a ticket for that.
Yeah.
But it may be outdated where the ticket is $6 or something. I don't know.
No, it's more
I
than
haven't
that.
researched
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ordinances to see what it is. I don't think they've ever been.
Who did you talk to at the sheriff's? Did you talk to Roger?
Roger Longevan.
You want me to see what he can do, how much the tickets are and stuff tomorrow?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what our ordinance says.
We'd have to,
I'll find the ordinance. There's no money on the
He
ordinance.
thought he
anyway.
might have
We
a
had
copy of the
books.
ordinance, and I told him I was gonna try to find our ordinance, and he said if I did, to email it to him.
Michael, would you be able to look that up?
The ordinance?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the parking, all we have for
Winter
the parking
parking
ban
ban
is what,
ordinance.
yeah, we've got the parking ban, but the
Appreciate it.
towing,
There's discrepancies with the times, there's discrepancies with the dates, it's,
If we could find out what the ordinance is and if
well,
it's.
cause we
worth-
keep losing people and we have to change it, cause we keep getting somebody to tow and then they're gone. They get
a
threatened
lot of
once.
loose ends that never get followed up
I know.
on completely, seems like.
That's because we're lazy.
Yeah.
You just heard it from the residents in the community.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I say plow them in, but nobody agrees with me.
Well,
I
that's
got
why
a
we're
driveway.
thinking of a TA that's paid full-time, that can follow up on some of these things, for us part-timers that come in and work a few meetings.
Oh, that's what you're, are
That's
you?
why I'm here.
That's why he's here. That's why he's here. So tomorrow, I'll call you and we'll talk about it. I wanna talk to Roger too, but having them come in at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna charge us.
If we even did it for a week or two.
Well, I know.
Oh,
Just,
I think we
just
did it
to,
one night.
Yeah.
We did it one night and they'd get the message.
Yeah.
Now, if the sheriffs leave it too, of course, if it snows, if anybody's on the street, that's whether it's snowing or not.
Right. It
Well,
doesn't
if
have
they're
to be
leaving,
snowing.
if they're leaving at 2,
They
why
can run
can't they
tickets for
from
the last
midnight till
2
2?
hours.
Start,
Right now,
nobody's
if
gonna
it's
come out
not
at 2 and
snowing,
park
they
a
can
car.
drive around and
After 11 o'clock.
tag people at
Let me talk to
at
Roger.
midnight.
so anytime after 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can get a ticket.
So let me talk to
11,
Roger and say whoever's on at night, if anybody's out after 11.
And
they
it's
need
till
to be
8
ticketed.
o'clock in the morning, right?
I think it's till
6,
8.
8?
Yeah,
8?
I think it's till 8.
So
Either
they're here
way.
in the mornings when they
Well,
come
either
for a
way.
shift.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if he.
if he's gonna tag him at
he's
midnight.
at school, though, he has to be
Oh,
at
yes.
school, yeah.
5 in the morning would be
There's,
safe.
there's not a lot of
He has to be at
people.
school. He's not, we aren't gonna
No.
hire somebody from 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning.
Have the deputy that leaves at 2 in the morning,
Yeah,
and that's
The
all we
last
gotta
3
do.
that's
We
what
don't
we
have-
just
around
decided.
town.
I know, but we don't have to do it in the morning.
I know.
Well, why are you talking about it? The deputy that
wasn't.
starts at,
I simply
Because
said that the morning guy
that
that comes in at
morning-
7, 8.
Yeah, I'm the one that said
She's the one
morning,
that said
Tim.
it.
And the reason being is because some people may think
I'm
that
just
they
trying to
can
get the
move at
minutes.
11,
Oh, I know,
wait till
you're
the police, and
right
then put the
there.
car back out front anyway.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, thank you.
That's why I was
I'll
thinking
call him
mornings.
tomorrow
I'm
and
the one
ask
who
him
was
if he'll
saying that.
ticket at 11 o'clock on anybody. I mean, that'll catch some people. People aren't gonna stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe. So if he can catch a few from,
Yes.
Yes.
from 11, our band is at 11 till 2, it might help, okay? So whoever's on, they're not doing anything at that hour probably anyway, they'll get ticket, they'll be happy.
And Mike will check out the ordinance tomorrow, so.
Right.
Yeah.
It's on my computer anyway. So, all right, any more?
I was unable to buy a sidewalk tractor. Couldn't find one spec'd right to do the job. We found a tractor that would do the job, but we couldn't get it spec'd with the implements that we need, which is a broom and a plow.
Are we buying a new one, or
We
a,
were going to,
No.
but.
and you can't
that's-
find a new one?
Well, we can. This time period I had, I couldn't do it.
Oh,
So
Wanna keep
I guess
trying?
that's off the table for now. I don't know. We're gonna end up carrying over money for that on the budget, so.
okay,
Other than that, I guess I don't have a whole lot.
okay. Water and sewer?
Okay, the water and sewer, we got 2 pumps that were, Daryl talked to me about it. We got 2 pumps that are not the right size. He mis-spec'd them.
How long have we had them?
One's put in use for about an hour, so we can't return it. The other one, we can return, but with restocking fees and shipping, we're gonna lose probably about $700 to figure it out, so
How much were they?
1,700 piece.
What do you
However,
suggest?
I told him to hold on to them, and I wanted to talk to a couple, and I have already. I figure Simons has agreed to use them in other places, so purchase them from us.
Purchase from us.
But we might sit on them for a little while,
Okay.
so.
Do we need new ones though? Do we need to order?
Well, this is for the project up on Green Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, there'll have to be different pump spot.
Is he gonna do that soon or not? Or do we need them right off?
It's for the spring, so they'll get
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And I think that's all I have.
Okay.
Contract.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to look through this.
Do we have time to do it next time or
It's a
not?
5-year contract and it's a
Oh,
3%
wait,
raise for the next 5 years.
Well, that's not bad.
Operation and maintenance agreement, Town of Richford. From Simons, okay.
We've been happy with them since they've been here, so I don't know if you wanna bid out again or stick with what we've got. They know our system. 3% is everywhere.
Yeah, Kylie was talking
That's what we
to me
got for
about it.
Social
She had to
Security
figure it out
increase.
again, so she knew she gave me the right number.
Yeah,
From what I can see that they're doing a good job. Scott, you had them before I did. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I was just wondering how many other companies are in that type of business that, maybe for the town's best interest to put it out for bids, but I don't know how many.
the only thing I
contractors, how
can
many-
say against that is that we put it out for bid when we first got them.
Mhm.
There wasn't much, I know time has passed, but the fact that they know our system,
Right.
the glitches that they had when they first came that we used to fight about, they've
Well, I was
smoothed
before
out.
my day.
Yeah, I know.
I've never read the contract to see what it
Smoothed out.
actually entails.
Yeah.
When does this need to be signed by Sherry, do you know?
She's asked if I could bring it to the thing tonight and have it signed.
Yeah, we should vote on it or not.
When does the current agreement expire?
I do not know that. This is effective date of this agreement is March 1st, 2022.
We could wait till next time if you guys wanna check something out, but
I might- I
I'll
might
tell you
just-
that the bad stuff about them has been, things that we didn't like, over the years, and then if we start with somebody new,
Well, I know the town they could never keep employees.
right,
Yeah.
as a
going-
town,
Right.
yeah.
Going to school and.
This has been a
and being
godsend.
Certified and,
Yeah, you need to have a water engineer.
Right.
And. we
Yeah, you have
can't
to
get one.
nowadays,
the
things
town
are even more.
turnover was such
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
nobody would ever finish the schooling and follow
Right.
through with it, so
Yeah.
it kinda.
And that's all their problem now, they have to provide.
It's an
that.
everyday thing, plus the liability falls upon
Upon them.
Yeah.
I didn't like them at first, and now I really do.
I will say, if I draw too much water down at the station, I'll get
Yeah.
a call immediately.
Right.
And I was,
They have really-
Sunday, I went over to pick up my son in Berkshire, and I don't know where Daryl lives, but I met him coming from Richford.
Who? Which one?
Daryl
He lives
Lives in Sheldon.
Sheldon, so yeah, he's
They're
going,
close enough to
Yeah.
be on call, yeah.
so,
Yeah, and any glitches we've had with them, as I say, over the years have worked out pretty well.
it's a service I'm still learning about, but from what I've seen, I'm happy
Impressed
with
enough,
it.
yeah.
I feel they're starting to slack a little bit on some of the repairs when they hire a contractor to come
Yeah.
in. Normally, they used to jump right in and help the contractor, and the
Yeah.
last couple digs I've seen, they're kinda backing off on that. I don't know how it's read in the contract, like I say, what they're,
Well, you can mention that to
Supposed to
them if you
provide,
want to.
Okay.
actually, the contractor has talked to me, and he's noticed the difference, so.
Okay,
That they aren't as involved, you mean.
Their
They're
their
just
involvement
like
is getting
flag
less
holders.
and less. Of
Less-
course,
less
it's
hands-on.
cold, and maybe they don't want to be out in the cold.
Could be.
okay, so we're gonna table this until the next meeting by the sounds.
I don't care. I'd hate
I
to
would
have
like a
somebody
copy of
new
it
outfit
sometime,
come
just
in.
so I could read it. I don't know if Kylie would have one here, or I could, does she have a copy of that now?
I do not know.
She printed it off, so it's on her email. She printed it right off for
I
me,
can get
so.
one
So
from
you
her.
would-
I'd just like to look it over before the next meeting.
Yeah.
I would like time just to absorb it, so.
So table it till the next meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all you got, Andy?
That's all I have.
And talk trash, buildings.
John Mercy went down to the old fire station. There was a water leak. Scott called me.
The Historical Society?
Yes. Scott called me, so I immediately called John.
Was
left
it
a
water leak in
message.
the furnace then?
Yeah, from the
Just
furnace,
the
it's a valve thing.
Boiler's leaking.
Yeah, he'll
pipe
be
into
back
the boiler.
tomorrow to fix it.
Oh, so we don't have
But
to buy a
he's-
new one yet?
No, he's hoping he's hoping a Band-Aid will work because he's thinking that you guys are gonna be putting a new one in eventually. So he doesn't wanna spend a lot of money fixing it.
Good, okay.
So he stopped at the store and talked to me a little bit about that, so
Okay.
there is that. The school board, the post office, the roof is still on hold till
Yep.
spring, of course.
Yep,
Trying to think there was something else. The library, I got a bid coming in on the library, for painting it in the summer. And the other one was the gazebo.
yeah,
I
what
got
about,
Bobby's bill, that's all done.
how much was that?
22, I gave it to Kylie. Yeah, so that bill's up.
He repaired it.
He repaired it, it was like 44 of the little slats. Between being destroyed and rotted, but he did mention the post, the main post coming down at the bottom, they're starting to get a little punky. So maybe they should get replaced in the next year or so, so I asked him
I
to
can
throw us
put
a
it-
quote.
Okay, thank you.
Rather than replacing the posts, can't the bases be reinforced?
Well, that's something he said, he goes, the problem is that all of they really should be caulked. When somebody's done doing something like that, you really should caulk it, then paint it. And, because what happens is water gets
Right.
in, sets, and then pumps
Bobby
up
Peters,
inside.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, so he'll be giving us a quote for
Okay,
that, so I'll
okay.
give it to you.
I may have to increase we aren't finished the budget anyway, right, for the parks and
Got
stuff.
another budget meeting.
We got another one this week.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
When did you say we were having the interview tomorrow?
One at 3, one at 4,
Okay, do you need one man or two?
just one,
Just one, so you've got
as
two
far as I
choices.
know.
Yeah, I
Kylie's
know.
closet today when I stopped in after work, I could hear something dripping, apparently the radiator.
Is it dripping again?
Where's that?
Well, they've been watching it every time, they can't
We're
seem
down
to
there?
see where it's coming from, so, yeah.
And it's, anything else?
No, I think I'm
As
pretty
far as
good.
the parks and playgrounds, I've got to hit up Notch and, I'm gonna try the school repair. You said it was about $5,000, right? For the
Well, we
building.
went down, actually, Slim went down working
Oh.
on that back late last fall, since
Yeah.
when you were out.
I know,
And
I've been out for 3 months.
He was able to jack up part of the wall.
Really?
I think we can jack the wall maybe, and then give it a,
Might be
what I
able to
call it, a
repair it.
micro topping of concrete on the top, to level the floor back up and make it.
So how much do you think that would be
Well, if
approximately?
we do it in-house or hire a mason, a local mason to do it, I don't think it'll be terribly expensive.
It was gonna be 5,000 about, right?
I don't think it'll be that much.
Well, I'm still gonna ask him for some money toward it.
Okay.
because they're the ones that use it.
We were able to, he was able to jack that
He
wall
was,
up.
okay, I haven't been here, so I didn't, okay, so I still am gonna ask them for a little money, because we don't use it, they do.
Right.
For the summer, and the school uses it. I think the school had agreed before to give us $1,000 for the use of the playground anyway, so. All right, any other beeswax?
I'd like to
Yes.
make a motion that the town of Richford does not require a mask mandate.
Anybody wanna second that?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, yeah. So I can sit here without a mask, yes. So it's unanimous. Mask
Just
mandate.
needs to show up in the minutes.
I will tell you, boy, it's spreading around here, huh? What is that? Town,
What they say.
yeah.
So what's going on with the place down on Fire Street?
Oh, yeah, I think we have talked about that. Is anybody got any current information on the, well, what are these lawyers, we had a deadline. Why wasn't it? I've been gone, unfortunately, but we sent them a letter, we had a deadline, and they're still there.
Last I knew, they were looking into legalities on what they had to do, but I don't remember.
Well, you have to do is evict. The ban is off.
But it's a long,
Yeah,
dragged
it's a
out
process.
Well, yeah, and we've been months, and they've sent letters, and that's part of the eviction. Yeah, I know it's not your fault.
They had a response date of December 12th. They did not meet that.
Right,
And the attorney, Kristen, was drawing up an enforcement action.
so
because
that
they're
just
still in
hasn't been
violation.
given
So
yet.
we're waiting
That-
on our attorney.
An enforcement action by the legal counsel.
Okay. Because we haven't even been in to see what the shape of that place is, we've owned it
No
for a
idea.
year. And if somebody gets hurt in there, we're liable. So, you know, we need to look out for ourselves.
Well, we're doing about all we can do.
Well,
We
I
can't-
don't know, I just remember 21 Elm Avenue, the lawyer gave me a letter, I stuck it on the wall and they were out in a week.
That's because
Because they
people were,
were more, yeah,
yeah, they went along with it.
they went along with it, I know. Well, so we're putting that, we saying that's on hold
Must be.
till the lawyer
Well,
gets back,
we're-
okay.
we're Going forward, it's just time consuming and
Well, we could do like I did with Lieutenant I had, and
Go sit with
I
them.
could sit and watch TV with them, and
I don't know if you really wanted to.
I don't want to. I didn't want to with them either. Anybody else got any business? Tim, anybody?
I think that's it.
Okay, we're adjourned. And it is 7:20,
13.
maybe, I don't know which clock,
I-
15, okay.
Whatever.